Lazevo likes to talk about life while he's shooting people in the face. Lazevo.
What is going on, everybody? It's Lazevo here. A couple of you guys have been asking me for some more cool story bros, so I figured it was about time to put out another one. I've been kind of lame, but guys only got so much stories, so many stories to tell about his life. But I still got some more, and I think of more all the time. It's like, your brain gets weird as you're older, and you have all these things that have happened to you, and you start to forget them if you don't tell them. So maybe this is gonna be it's kind of like Dear Diary, so I don't forget this stuff. But anyway, you're watching a little Modern Warfare 3 gameplay. I did play the other day. Had a pretty good start to this game. I like that. I capped the C flag, capped the B flag, and then got the double C4. I was like instant Predator missile, so that was pretty cool. But anyway, I don't want to talk about the gameplay. Like I said, I got a story for you. So it's been a while since I brought you any of this stuff. So if you guys haven't heard any of my other ones, there'll be a link to a playlist in the description. You guys can go check them out. But basically, this one starts when I was in 9th grade, and I remember that because I was playing freshman basketball for high school. You guys know I'm a huge basketball fan, and I still try to play about once a week now. Especially during the winter when school's out and the schools are closed. We normally play in elementary school, so when the school is closed, you can't get in there. So, over the winter, I try to play once a week still on Monday nights, and whatever. I do what I can. I always had a good jump shot. I'm just saying, for a big guy, I got a good jump shot. So they never used me right. But anyway, so I've always loved basketball. I was playing freshman on the freshman basketball team. And it was just before the start of the season, and I had to go get basketball shoes. That's kind of a common thing, right? You got to gear up for whatever sport you're in, and basketball shoes are kind of a big deal, So this particular year, we had all kind of banded together. We were all going to go and get, when I say we all, my whole team was going to go get, the same pair of shoes, and they were a certain pair of Nikes. I don't remember what they were called. They were black and white. They were pretty sweet, and anyway, I had to go to Foot Locker to get them. And so my mom takes me to Foot Locker, and while I'm getting the shoes, they had like a contest going on. If you buy a pair of Nike shoes, then you're automatically entered into this contest. And the contest prize was the winner got to be selected as a ball boy for the University of Michigan. Not that kind of ball boy. I know what you're thinking. It's basically, if you guys don't know what a ball boy is for basketball, maybe if you're from Europe or something, I don't know. But you're the guy that basically comes out and wipes the floor off if somebody falls down, and wipes the sweat up, and when they're doing jump shot practice or whatever, you're rebounding and passing the ball back to the guys, and it's kind of I don't know. It's not like, it's almost like a glorified water boy or something like that. So anyway, I fill out the card, and I think my mom had to sign it as my guardian or something, and I drop it in the bucket, and I didn't think much of it. I'm typical with this stuff because I'm like, I never win anything in my life. Like, there's been very few times I've ever won anything, and whatever. I just don't have high hopes for that kind of stuff. After a while, you get kind of beat down. I know some people like to enter in all these sweepstakes and contests. That's not me. I've never been lucky with like that, so whatever. So I put my name down, didn't think much of it, right? And get into I'm probably a quarter or a third of the way through the basketball season, and I think I came home from practice, and then I remember the phone rang, and my parents answered the phone. I mean, back then I was like, hardly anybody called me, you know what I mean? People just, my best friends were within a bike ride of me, so they would just come over. This is pre cell phone technology days. I told you I'm a little bit older, so we actually went over to people's houses and all that stuff. It's pretty crazy, I know, for you young guys, but that's what happened. Anyway, so I didn't answer the phone. My mom did, and all of a sudden she said, "Hey, there's somebody on the phone for you." And I was like, "Who is it?" And she wouldn't tell me. She just said to answer the phone. I said, "Okay," and so I pick up the phone. I'm like, "Hello," and can't even remember exactly how the conversation went, but I know he said, "This is so-and-so with Nike sweepstakes, blah, 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 and we drew your name to become a ball boy for the University of Michigan for one game." And my jaw dropped. I was like, I was like, you're joking, right? I was like, University of Michigan is my favorite team. For you guys that know me, that's my favorite collegiate team. And I know I'm going to get some ragging on from you Alabama fans right now for their football loss the other day, last week, 2 weekends ago. But anyway, so University of Michigan is my favorite team. So being, I'm what, 13 or 14 at this point? 14 maybe? 14. And being a 14-year-old kid and being told you're going to go, like, on the floor for your favorite team is, like, that's crazy. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm freaking out, right? And I'm pretty laid-back, calm dude. I don't freak out about anything. Like, my mom gets mad at me because when she gives me a gift, if I go, oh, that's really cool, Mom, that means, like, I absolutely loved it. Like, that was a home run for her that she bought me a gift. And I just never get that excited about stuff, But this one really got me excited. It tied into, like, my love of basketball, my love of the University of Michigan, and I was geeked. I was so pumped. And I remember I had to miss a practice in order to go to this. I had to miss a basketball practice. And my coach decided it was a good idea to punish me by benching me the next game. And, I wasn't able to play in the next game. I wasn't able to even dress for that game because I missed a practice for this. And I was like, Coach, this is like basketball related. I'm going to be on the floor with some, this is going to be, I'm gaining skills here. And he wasn't buying it. He's like, you missed practice, you don't play in the game. He's kind of a no-nonsense kind of coach. So I guess I kind of like that. But anyway, he disciplined me for that. And so at the time I was pissed, but now I kind of understand. Hey, you break the rules, whatever. And he didn't look at it as a positive thing, but I was geeked. I was like, whatever, you can bench me 10 games. I'm doing this. This is happening. So anyway, I show up at University of Michigan's Chrysler Arena is what it's called. Michigan, it's where Michigan plays basketball. And we had to be there at a certain time, and I got to bring both of my parents. So my mom and my dad were able to go. And so we show up, we park, we have VIP parking that they mailed to us. We have 2 courtside tickets for my parents that they, came in the package, and all these instructions on where to go. And so we drive up to the back, and we're walking in the tunnel. These representatives from Nike meet me, and they're shaking my hand. Congratulations, we got a bunch of cool stuff for you. They had a brand new pair of Nikes that they gave me, hooked me up with a new Nike shirt, and a hat, I believe, was in there. And so I got all geared up, and I got to go on the floor. And I'm like walking out of the tunnel, right? And I'm like looking up, and you got the scoreboard. I mean, it was like, think about being a 14-year-old kid, and this is like your favorite sport in the world, and you're walking out of the tunnel for your favorite team. This was a pretty crazy feeling. Like I was pretty excited, to say the least. And so I was like, I don't know what sex is like at this time. And I was like, but this is better than that. And I was wrong. But, whatever. It is whatever. Anyway, I was excited. And so I got to go out there, and he's like, hey, you're basically, here's what you're going to do. And he showed me, like, here's the broom thing. You got to sweep up and blah, 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 blah. And you got to sweep up between timeouts. And he was kind of showing me the ropes. And then he said, okay, you don't got much to do. You can shoot around if you want. So I'm out on the floor shooting 3-pointers on my favorite team. I was like so excited, and people are funneling in. There's a drunk college student section, and they're all watching me take shots. And they were like cheering me on when I would hit a shot or whatever. And it was crazy. There was cheerleaders there, and they're warming up, and then the team comes out, and I remember these guys, like, they look so small on TV. Even the guards, like the smallest guys on the court, are like towering over me. Like they're like 6'4", 6'5", and it was so cool being that close. And the best part about it was that the game ended in triple overtime. So basically I got a whole nother game out of the deal. It was like this huge exciting game. It was versus the University of Iowa, and it was an amazing experience. I was like, man, I felt so lucky to have that opportunity. And it's one of the cool things I've ever won in my life. Probably one of the coolest. So anyway, that's a cool story. If you guys have any questions about it, ask me. And thank you guys for listening. I'll talk to you later.